Can we quiet down, colleagues? Can we quiet down and get seated? I am requesting that we get seated. The President is approaching the room. And may you all rise as a sign of respect to the office that you hold, as led by Minister Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. He gets into the room. Where I grew up, if it's possible, you can receive with the sound of positivity your President, Honorable Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa. Those who know how to say it, they call him Singo, I hope, but there he is. Thank you very much for that warm receipt. May we all get seated. As I welcome once more in jubilation, in attendance to our local government summit, day 2, Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, our Honorable Minister of Cooperative Governments and Traditional Affairs, the President of South Africa, President Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa. We are both welcome, President and Honorable Minister. Honorable President, this is day 2 of our local government summit, which began in earnest yesterday, had full deliberations from morning to around 8 p.m., with many people in the House trying to shape and create what we all want to be a better South Africa, utilizing municipalities as an important sphere of local government where service delivery happens. Without much ado, because we would want you to engage at most with our municipalities in a form of an engagement that is live and real, I'm going to request, without spending much time as a program director, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, our minister, to come and give us a word. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Greetings to the President of the Republic of South Africa, His Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa, ministers who are here, the NCOP and the Parliament, MECs, Premiers, Umam Mhlaule, I think today probably is not here, but the traditional leadership is here, we greet them, and the mayors, executive mayors, councillors, managers, the portfolio committee, Parliament of CoGTA, and the select committee, members of the panels who are still here, and a special greeting to our international participants who are going to be with us after this session, the People's Republic of China, Republic of Vietnam, Nepal, and the UN. So we welcome them, and we also welcome all the officials from government. President, here you have the leadership of local government, SALGA, We have the leadership at a political level, the troikas and the chairs of MPECs. You have the MMs and the CFOs and others. So you have the top leadership of local government in this room. And of course, the MECs are here. The 3 spheres of government is here. And of course, Parliament is also here. The only arm of the state that is not here is the judiciary. But Parliament, the executive, the 3 spheres, they are all here. And there's also business, academia, NGOs. And the reason for that, President, as you also say, is that local government is everybody's business. We have taken the whole of government approach as government, and we have taken the whole of society approach. So the whole of society is present here, Mr. President. And yesterday, we had very interesting sessions led by our ministers from other departments. We also had people from ethics, from NGOs, talking about a whole range of things. We had the financial institutions, the banks. We had, we had sessions that were looking at governance, the AG, the statistician general were here. And the idea, Mr. President, is that we have this forum every year. And this year, we're laying the foundation, all of us. We had commissions yesterday, so we're laying a foundation together, because all along we've been talking amongst just ourselves as government at a national, sometimes provincial level. But now we're all together. So the idea is that we'll have it every year. But the format might differ in the sense that this year we're saying, what are the challenges, what are the solutions? Next year we will be looking at what action has been taken since this year. So we'll be looking at who has improved, who has done what, so that we track progress, because we can't just talk and talk. We're talking, we're laying the foundation, let's do this. Next year, most of the presenters will be from the municipalities, saying in my municipality, this is how we have improved, this is what we have done. So this is the idea. But also there was a lot of emphasis on local economic development, and we had also experts talking about that. And we will also be tracking that next year, at the next year's forum. Who has done what? Where are the improvements in various aspects? Stability, interface between the political and the administration. So that's what we are doing, Mr. President. I will not want to take the 10 minutes that I was given, but just to say what we've done today after your session. We also thought that it's important, because in East London that was raised, that after you've spoken, you interact with this sphere of government. So after your interaction, we will then have the international session. The reason we're having the international session and the choice of the people that are here this year, we will have the People's Republic of China and the Republic of Vietnam. And the reason for that is that China globally is the #1 country that has lifted its people, millions and millions of people, out of poverty. So we want them to say what were the building blocks towards that, and to motivate us that it is possible to lift people out of poverty. And that comes from local government. That should start at local government. And the Vietnamese also have good experience. After the war, they were able to build their nation and their economy, and now they have a very vibrant economy. So we want them to share with us what were the things that they did to make sure that they come out of that situation. And then we also thought we should have NEPAD, and the facilitators there would also be the UN, but we also have our own local people who will be participating in that session. And then later we will have the reports from commissions, but that's really where we are, Mr. President. And they said I must introduce the President. Is there anyone here who doesn't know the President? So I present to you the President of the Republic of South Africa in the 6th administration, President, His Excellency Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa. President, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, Program Director, Deputy Minister Nkadimeng, the leadership of SALGA. I haven't seen the particular leaders of the NCOP. Oh, there they are. Greetings to you all. Members of Parliament who are here, traditional leaders who are also here, and of course, more importantly, the leadership of our local government space, our MECs, and other government leaders who I may not have seen either as deputy ministers or ministers, as well as directors general. I extend my greetings to all of you, particularly, as I said, those who operate in that most important space of local government in our country. It is indeed my pleasure to be here at this local government summit, a summit that is specifically focused on practical solutions to the challenges that local government is facing in our country. This has been a year, quite seriously, where we have had heightened activity by the state around the critical issues of improving the state of local government. This year I have led 4 presidential imbizos in the Free State, in Northwest, in Gauteng, and in Mpumalanga. And in all those imbizos, issues of local government topped the agenda. Almost everyone who stood up to speak raised issues of local government, issues of service delivery, issues of governance, and issues of unemployment and economic development in their space. In August, the South African Human Rights Commission convened a conference on accountability, service delivery, and human rights in the local government space. And most recently, SALGA convened this year's Council of Mayors, and I had an opportunity to get an invitation, hoping that I might also be appointed a mayor in some small little town, but I didn't get even an invitation to be a mayor. It's one of my dreams to be a mayor of some town, not a metro, just a small town. Maybe you can donate a small town for me to be a mayor at. What I said in all of these engagements is that we do not need more diagnosis. We don't need diagnosis on the state of local government because we know what the challenges are, we know what the problems are, and we've gone through all those challenges and problems ad nauseum over a very long period. Reports from the Auditor General, who I believe was also here, and the National Treasury, and I believe the Minister of Finance was also here, and the State of Local Government reports point to the inefficiencies, they point to the maladministration, lack of financial controls, poor governance, and the like. It talks also about political contestation that leads to the paralysis that we find in local government. And it also talks about how at times there is perceived political interference in the running of the administration of local government. It is therefore appropriate that these and some of the critical challenges are being discussed at this summit. But I would like to believe that in discussing them, this summit is going to be looking at practical solutions, how we get and find solutions to all these problems that beset local government. I believe that you've divided yourselves into commissions and that your commissions have been looking at or will be looking at issues of governance, administration and financial management, service delivery, climate change and disasters, and more importantly also local economic development, but also more importantly, how local government should be funded. Because in the main, one of the recurring problems that we often hear about is the lack of funding for local government, and that the formula for funding local government should be evaluated, even changed. I'm looking forward to hearing great wisdom from amongst you of how this latter issue, the formula, should once again be looked at. So I need some wisdom from you. I knew you would applaud because that is where you as local government players, you want more money. I hope you raised it with the Minister of Finance yesterday. As the country grapples with poverty, unemployment and inequality, our triple challenge, it is vital that we attend to local economic development. And we do so in a more focused manner, in a more practical manner, in a manner that will help to lift the economic fortunes of the places where we come from. Where there is a growing dynamic economy, we then have the fiscal space to expand the provision of services that improve our people's lives. When there is more investment and business expansion, jobs are created, livelihoods are supported, and the benefits circulate in the local area. That is why accelerating economic growth, attracting investment, and creating jobs must be at the center of the efforts of all spheres of our government. 2 weeks ago, I was part of an investment oversight visit in KwaZulu-Natal. We attended the launches of 2 expansion projects by an automotive component manufacturer called Hesto Harnesses and a paper products company called Sapi. Both of these were fulfillments of commitments made at one of our South Africa investment conferences. These investments are supporting job creation. They're also supporting enterprise development as well as localization, making sure that the products that go into the final products they produce are sourced in the local area and that they promote local entrepreneurs in the surrounding area. And this will inject millions of rands into local economies. And in one case, they were able to quantify it and say so many small and medium enterprises are going to be part of our economic or financial ecosystem, and so many other companies are going to provide us with components locally produced that will go into the final product that we make. Over the past 2 months, I've attended similar such launches by Ford Motor Company, Isuzu, Anglo-American, Corobrick, Sandvik, Netflix, Console Glass, and many other companies that had made commitments when we held our South Africa Investment Conference. These business expansion projects aren't happening opposite or at the union buildings. They are not also happening in Parliament. They are being built in our local towns, in our metros, where our people live and where they are needed most. And I think it's important that we should have it clear in our minds that investments that we mobilize finally take place at the local level. And it is therefore at the local level that all of you who are here are the real actors. You are the real enablers for those businesses that come and invest in our country. If we are to harness the momentum of economic recovery that these new investments signal, or these expansion investments signal, local government has to be strong, it has to be efficient, it has to be capable, and it also has to be well run. When these domestic investors, as well as multinationals, make their investment decisions on where to bring or to expand their investments, one of the first factors that they consider is whether there is an enabling environment in that locality. First, of course, they'll look at the country and say and ask themselves, is South Africa an attractive investment destination? Once they tick that box, they then look at a number of other considerations. And finally, the most important that they will descend to is whether the local area, the local municipality is an investable environment. Is there a conducive environment that has been created in that local municipality for them to come and plant their money, either to build a factory, to build a facility, and what have you. They look at whether they can receive the necessary approvals as well as permits on time, rather than wait forever and be told that come back, fill another form, the form is lost, and so forth and so forth. They look at the quality of the provision of water, electricity, sewerage, and refuse removal. Their representatives will come to the town. They will come to the locality. They will come to the metro, and they will do an examination, firstly of the site, and thereafter they will meet the local people, having started off possibly by meeting officials in various national departments. But where it really matters most is whether at the local area they are going to find joy. They look at the quality of the roads, and at the quality of the infrastructure they will need to transport their products to the market. They analyze whether the environment is safe and secure, whether they will be able to protect their investments. If they are not satisfied that their needs will be met, they will choose to go somewhere else to invest. And if, for instance, they are not met by a very welcoming horde of officials, of political leaders, they just make a quick judgment and then move on and go to another place. I remember a story of a company that wanted to invest. They went to a particular country to go and make an investment of $1 billion. And when they got there, they asked, what processes do we need to follow to make this $1 billion investment? Just right there and then, they were pushed from pillar to post. They said, no, go to this one, go to that office, go to that office. The process will take you 6 months for you to fill in the forms, and then you will come back, and so forth and so forth. That company, which I knew very well, that company then sent its officials to Brazil. They got to Brazil. When they got to Brazil, they were met by the governor of a province or a state in Brazil at the airport with a red carpet. And the governor said, welcome, what can we do to help you set up your business? And we can do a very quick process. We've got a one-stop shop where you can do all your applications, and within a month, we will have everything ready for you to invest. And that company decided that that's exactly where we want to be. They invested the $1 billion and added up with another $1 billion 3 years later when they built a big facility to finish their products. So it is the attitude. It is the way in which at the local level, and this company did not go to the top government level, at the local level where a conducive environment had been created for this company to make the final decision. Because in the end, the final decision will be made on the impressions that the officials that the company has sent once they see what the lay of the land is. in some cases, companies that are already operating in an area choose to leave. And we need to ask ourselves, why do they choose to leave? In the process, jobs are lost, businesses are forced to close, businesses that may be cooperating with this other business, suppliers lose their clients, and the local economy suffers. Now, this is not a fable, this is something that happened in our own country, where a company decided to leave because the local government was not able to provide the necessary environment for the company to continue operating. And I think in the course of that, some 1,000 or 2,000 jobs were lost in one of our provinces. And the company relocated to another province. And that led to more unemployment in that area. As we work to promote local economic development, we need to consider the role of the district development model, which I believe you have spoken about quite extensively. We need to ensure that this integrated, multidisciplinary approach to government planning and implementation must in the end translate into local economic development that changes lives at a household level. According to conventional wisdom, the whole process to move our people from the vicious trap of poverty as well as backwardness to becoming a prosperous type of economic situation has two paths, in my view. It is to get governance at the local level to be absolutely right and to get service delivery absolutely right. If we can get that right, then what follows will be an influx of investments and growth that will immediately follow. We need to ensure that the key players in the running of the municipality, and all of you who are here, all of you are key role players, the mayors, the speakers, the municipal managers, the chief whips, the impact chairs, and the chief financial officers, and all of the various key officials who are here. You have to play your important role collectively. Collectively play your role in ensuring that we promote local economic development. And it should not be a singular task for the mayor alone, it should be an integrated one. And in the end, we should not leave this task to consultants to devise our economic development plans. I've often heard that at local government level, it is the consultants who devise the LED and then present it to the mayor and who presents it to council. For me, that is completely devoid of identifying the key priorities by the key players. The local economic development plan must be devised by yourselves, knowing exactly what the lay of the land is and what needs to be achieved. Because in the end, it is yourselves who will need to implement the plan. Because you drive the process of development, of service delivery, of everything that happens in the municipality from start to finish. We have spoken about some of the key elements of an ideal municipality, including a vibrant economy that needs to be engendered, places where tourists may want to visit once the key players decide that we are going to make our local municipality an attractive place for people to come from all over to come and visit. how the local municipality will focus on skills development and create spaces for young people to be trained, to be skilled, and to develop. Such municipalities provide good access to health, to education, to recreational facilities. In such an ideal municipality, not only are residents able to lead lives of quality and dignity, they are magnets for investment. The task before us at this point is to translate the district development model one plans into reality. And I'd like to believe that we've spoken enough about the theory of the district development model. What now needs to happen is to practice it. And to practice it with, yes, whatever little resources we have, to excel in our capabilities of demonstrating that, yes, we can make the district development model come alive. We can work in an integrated manner, all of us who are key role players, and then interlink with those at provincial level, at national level, so that what you then have to put into practice at the local level then becomes a reality. A credible plan is only as good as its implementation. And even the best plan will not succeed if we do not fix the systemic problems that prevent local government from carrying out its functions. As I told the Salga Council of Mayors earlier this month, we have to embark on course correction to advance the principle of people-centered local government. The president of Salga always insists that we cannot and should not do things in the same old way and expect different results. We now need to have course correction, look much broader, and see what is it that we can change and bring to bear so that we can be able to change the course of local government. This means focused and committed leadership across all municipalities with stronger strategic relations, yes, with the key role players in our communities, civil society, the various other government agents, be it the police, be it education institutions, local business in the area, and all other social partners. It means improving the quality and efficiency of local government through better funding from your own resources, as well as better funding from the equitable share, whose formula, as you have said and advocated for, needs to be relooked. It also means better planning and better execution. It is about focusing on the key area of governance and also professionalizing municipal administration, stabilizing management, as well as political leadership. And it is at this level where we've had most of our challenges, where people in political leadership have often butted heads amongst themselves, where they start differing and even fighting like there is no tomorrow. Fighting that at times results in outright violence where people even die. And we therefore need to redefine
Moderator, it will kick back just in a second.
It will kick in.
Yeah, just wait a second.
Okay.
It will kick in.
Okay.
The lighting has already kicked in, but the mic takes a bit spec now. You can continue.
Okay, I was being given lessons on how to deal with load shedding. And I must say, I am sorry about that. This continues to be our biggest challenge, as you all know. And I think it affects you at local level because you distribute electricity, and when it does this, it gets your own customers to lose businesses, it disrupts the livelihoods of our people, and people lose confidence in us. But what I'm saying is that it also means, as we address all these issues, we must also focus on prioritizing fiscal sustainability, but also sound municipal financial governance and eliminating corruption. I often become disheartened when I listen to the Auditor General when she reports that at times in some of our local government entities, you find huge payments being made without any invoices, without any backup documentation, where money just flows without any form of evidence what that money is for. This is what we need to address, and this is what we need to bring to an end. Local government should have focused approaches to investment by setting up, in my book, investment agencies whose assignment is to promote investment. I think of a country like China, and I'm glad, as Minister Dlamini Zuma said, you're going to have an input from someone from China, because in China, the economic growth that we see that was engendered in China started at the local government level. Yes, it was supported at the national level with a clear plan of where they want China to go to, like they had their own national development plan, which we also have. But it was at the local level where they were able to engender greater and continuous growth, because they focus at the local level on promoting investment, creating that conducive environment for people to come and invest. Many investors will not easily come and invest as they drive into your town, city, or metro. They just see filth all over, where they just see sewage running in the streets. They will not have an appetite to come and invest. They will have an appetite to come and invest when they are attracted, like bees are attracted to a beautiful blooming flower, when they are attracted by a beautiful city, a clean city, a city where everything, the infrastructure works. And working hand in hand with the private sector can ensure continued growth for local government. That is precisely what happened in China as well. They were able to work hand in hand with local private sector, and that way China was then able to engineer the growth. And of course, they had the big mega projects that national government embarked on, but it was local government that played a key role as well. And through that, they were able to lift millions of people out of poverty by constructing a set of underlying conditions that fostered what I would say is an adaptive process, where the local players at local government level localized their own solutions, localized those, pivoting obviously on the national plan that there is, but created local solutions promoted investment, set up a number of investment offices where they just sought to crowd in investors. Sometimes one gets dismayed. As I move around the country, sometimes I move around with mayors, and there was a time when I saw a huge economic facility in a particular town. And I asked the mayor, because I didn't know what that was. I said, this is a huge facility. It looks like there's a lot of activity of an economic nature taking place, and I could see lots of people walking around. And I asked the mayor, what products do they make in this facility? The mayor did not know. And I asked, how many people are employed in this facility? The mayor did not know. And I asked, Mayor, have you ever been to this facility to go and talk to the management? The mayor said, no, we were thinking of going. And then I dismayed, because